Hello and welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is a Friday edition that has nothing to do with yarn or anything. It has to do with how I accidentally got 4 sets of good china. 4 sets. Yeah, I started out with 1 and it snowballed, and now it's a little bit of a crazy story. So we'll get started with the first set that I've had for about 40 years. Right before we got married, I think Dave and I were engaged or dating at the time, something like that. But here in the US, there is a store called Kmart. I don't know if it's even still around. It predates Walmart, but it was like a Walmart. And those of you who are familiar with Walmart know that certain little special sale thing that they would have running around the store, which was called the Blue Light Special, which was a little counter on wheels with a big pole and a big blue like siren light on the top that would flash. And they would announce that there was a sale. It was called the Blue Light Special, and everybody in the store would run to see where the blue light was at and what was on sale, and they would run amok in the sale department. That's all I can say. It was crazy. You didn't dare bend over, you get trampled, because everybody was in there. You could get some really good deals. I remember going into a kitchen gadget thing they had one day and walking away with steak knives for 10 cents a piece. You know, it was crazy like that. So anyway, my china, my good china, came from Kmart, and it was a place settings for 8, and there's 5 pieces for each place setting. There's the dinner plate, the bread plate. Oh no, there's 6. There's the dinner plate, the bread plate, the salad or soup bowl, a cup, and a saucer. So I'll show you what it looked like, and guess what I paid. Now I know this was 40 years ago, but still, $20 for place settings for 8 people. 48 pieces altogether for $20. And then the serving pieces, which was the cream and sugar and a large, they called it a chop plate. It was sort of like a round platter, and a large serving bowl. That was also $20. So I spent $40 and got my good china from Kmart. It is not fine china. It's nice, you know, but it's not like bone china or anything. But this is what it looks like. And the pattern, it's Japanese. It is called Sango, and it is Carlton, and the pattern is Andover 482. Okay, so we used this for quite a few years. Like I said, I've had it for 40 years, and over the years, some of it, you know, got a little chipped, some broke. You know, we did have children, accidents happen, sometimes with adults, but anyway, pieces got broken and chipped. I have a couple of chipped pieces sitting right over on the table that I just need to get rid of, and I haven't so far. But yeah, a few years ago at an auction, I happened to see they had the exact same set of china with the serving bowl and the platter. They didn't have the cream and sugar, but they had the serving bowl and the platter. I got the whole thing for $35. So then I had a huge set that was the same. I think I have a total of like 14 plates at this point, because they were, of course, 2 place settings for 8, and I had some that had broken, so I think I have like 13 or 14 plates total. And the cups are the thing I think I have the least of, because some of those did break in one of our moves, but I think I still have 11. I think there's 10 or 11 cups that go with it, and then all the saucers, and I've got most of the bread plates, and yeah, I think I've got 13 or 14 of the bread plates. I've got like 13 or 14 of the soup bowls. So altogether, it's place settings for at least between 12 and 14 people. I don't need that much china. I really don't. So after 40 years, and I do think this is a really pretty pattern. You know, you can see it's got little white and gray flowers on it, and this is like a silver rim here. So after 40 years, I decided I'm ready for something different. I always have liked blue and white china. My everyday china that I use, you know, it's stoneware from Fallscraft, and it is the Yorktown pattern. So I have that, and I also have some blue and white, the blue onion pattern that goes for Corelware. And that's our everyday stuff that, you know, I have lots of. If it gets broken, I can find replacements for it anytime. And it's all pretty cheap at this point. So yeah, I have plenty of it. And I have lots of serving pieces. So at one point I really kind of tried to decide whether I even needed new china or not. But then I thought, I've got the space for it. Let's just go down to maybe 6 place settings, because if I entertain more people than that, I can use my false graph. And, you know, I was just ready for something different. So I went online, I'm getting the pattern out here so you can see it, and I found some blue and white china. I've always liked the blue onion pattern, which is this pattern right here. Now these dishes are called Blue Angel by the company's name is Present, which is an English company. And these were made in the 1950s up to about 1959. So I went online, I was buying bits and pieces of it, so I still have some bread plates I bought from one buyer on eBay, and I have 2 serving dishes. This is one of the serving bowls, and I have another one, a bigger one, that I bought from eBay, and I have the creamer and the sugar. Then I found a lady who was selling the entire set. And so I thought, oh, okay, this is great. So it was a little bit of a disaster because she had never sold really anything on eBay before. So I had to kind of walk her through a few things because she had, I think there was 60 some pieces of china and she had the shipping down for $9.90. And I emailed her and I said, are you sure that's what you want to charge for shipping? Because that's way too little. She also had the starting bid at 99 cents, and I was the only one that was bidding at that point, there was no bids on it, so I hadn't even put a bid in. But I was like, you know, so I emailed her and I said, you might want to up your bid, because if only one person bids and they bid 99 cents, you're going to have to sell it at 99 cents. And I said, are you sure also about the shipping? Because $9.90 is not enough, not nearly enough for how much you're going to ship. And she assured me it was correct. She did up the price to $100 for the dishes, which was reasonable for the amount of dishes she was having. So I'm the only one that put the bid in. And so I won the bid. She told me, she said, I've got it all packed up in bubble wrap. I'm taking it to the post office. I said, okay. Then she emails me and says, I'm at the post office and they told me the shipping is not enough. I'm short $25 more and I don't have the $25. I kind of anticipated this was going to happen, and I said, well, by rights, I could hold you to it and make you have to ship it, but everybody makes mistakes. You're a new seller on eBay, and I don't want to see you get taken, you know. So, you know, I will send you the difference, you know, it's like the additional $25 so you can get it shipped. So I did that, and then the dishes arrived, all broken. Well, most of them were broken. There was a few pieces that did not get broken. They weren't packed real well. They were bubble wrapped, but the box itself was so flimsy that the box was falling apart. And yeah, she had not written fragile, and it looked like somebody had dropped the box and then drop kicked it. It was like thousands of shattered pieces of glass everywhere. So I contacted her and I said, you're going to have to refund me. I will send you back the pieces that did not get broken, but you know, I'm not paying for a bunch of shattered glass. So anyway, you know, we got it worked out. It took a while because she wasn't sure how the refund policy worked and everything, but I got my money back. But now I'm stuck with bread plates, 2 serving bowls, and a cream and a sugar from this set, which does me no good because I don't have the rest of the set. So anyway, so these are going to be getting sold on eBay because I have no reason to keep them at this point. So then I started in pursuit of some other china with the blue onion pattern. And when Dave and I were on our honeymoon 40 years ago, we went to a place called the Williamsburg Pottery Factory, and we bought a vase and 2 candlesticks that were in a china called Blue Danube. And so I always liked it. It's in our china cabinet. And so I thought, well, I wonder if if I can find the used dishes cheaper. So I did. Let me show you what they look like. This is Blue Danube. So this is my official set now, but there's more coming. So I have place settings for 6 in this. I have 6 dishes, and I kind of piecemealed them together. I didn't buy them all from the same person, but I have 6 of the dinner plates. I have 6 bread plates, 6 dessert plates or luncheon plates. They're a little bit bigger. And then I have 6 cups and saucers and a gravy boat. But I didn't have any serving pieces. The serving pieces to this set seemed to be very expensive. This set was also made, Blue Danube was made from the 1950s up until I think it was 2002. Now, one thing you do need to be careful when you buy older china that is prior to 1971 is some of the finishes that made it shiny contain lead. So if you buy old china, you want to make sure you can do a lead test where you like swab it and test it to make sure it does not contain lead. But you especially want to be careful if it has crazing, which is like a crackly look. It's like it doesn't, you can't feel it, but you can see it underglaze. It's kind of crackled because that can stain really easy, and it can also leach out some of the lead. So yeah, this is in perfect condition. The pieces I have are all in really pretty good condition. I have a couple of cups that have some little chips in them that I'm going to try to replace, but most of it is in really good shape. So this is my Blue Danube, which is my official pattern that I was going for. Matches my curtains, as you can see, because I love blue and white. Blue, white, and yellow together. Those are my favorites. So then my mother-in-law came up last weekend, and I had shown her the china because it's all over my kitchen table at this point. It's a disaster. We took her out, it was Dave's birthday, so we took her out to Longhorn Steakhouse with us to celebrate. And I said, yeah, it's a good, she was just spending the night. So I said, it's a good thing we aren't eating on the kitchen table because there's nowhere to eat right now. I've got dishes scattered all over the table, and I will turn the camera around at one point so you can see this disaster I've got going on. But my mother-in-law says, I've got something for you. I've never seen these before in my life. Yes, more blue onion pattern. This is not Blue Danube. This is the same blue onion pattern. It's not as brilliant of a cobalt blue as this is. This is almost more of a navy color, depending on what lights you look in, but it's more of a navy color. This is actually called Double Phoenix Nico from Japan. It does have a little bit of crazing on the back. I don't know if it'll show up so you can see what I'm talking about when I say crazing. It's like a crackling under the, to feel this, it feels smooth, but underneath it, there is some crackling in the glaze itself. I have no idea how old these are. She said that she bought it. I'm thinking it's probably about the same age as my Blue Danube, but yeah, she said she bought it in Williamsburg years and years and years ago. And I know they used to go to Williamsburg a lot in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So yeah, this is the dinner plate. Now she just brought up some of the pieces because she said she's going through stuff in the basement. And so this was the first batch she found. She says she runs across the rest, she'll bring it. So yeah, so I have no idea how many place settings I'm going to have of this, but I have one plate so far. I have the gravy boat. This is attached. So I have the gravy boat. I have the creamer and sugar missing the lid. She said the lid is someplace else. And then I have 2 serving bowls, and I've already put them away, but I have a couple of saucers and a couple of little like single serving bowls. So between the two, I think I can blend these together enough. If you look at these, they are different, but they have the same scalloped edging. They're the same size. And when you look at this with the serving bowl, I think I can get away with it very easily. So a special thank you to my mother-in-law. I wish I would have known she was going to give me these. I wouldn't have spent money on the other one. But yeah, on the other one, I'm pointing to it. Yeah, I wouldn't have spent money on this one if I knew she was giving me the other one. But I didn't know that at the time. So I'm not sure, like I said, how long they've been sitting in the basement of her house, but I am the happy recipient of it. So yeah, that is my China debacle story, how I started out with one set and I now have 4. 2 of which I am getting rid of. So if you liked the set that I showed you that was from 40 years ago, I will put links down below. I'm putting them on eBay and I'm selling them for like I'm selling like 6 dinner plates together, 6 bread plates together. I don't want to ship it all at one time because it would not make it. It would weigh too much. So I'm shipping it out in pieces. So what I have listed on eBay, I will put the links to down below. Or if for some reason you're interested in this, just contact me at my email address and we'll figure something out. So yeah, that's my story. So now I'm trying to get rid of the set, like I said, that I've had for 40 years, and the set that I bought that the other part of the set got broken. So yeah, let me turn the camera around. You'll see my disaster of a kitchen table right now. There is my mess. And the boxes that are sitting there and all of the packing supplies, you can see more over there. That is to pack up all the china. That's like bubble wrap and newspaper, and I've got boxes that are set for eBay if somebody buys them, so I've already got them packed and weighed and ready to ship. So, and there's my orange juice, which has absolutely nothing to do with this video, but there it is on the table. So, yes, that's my china disaster. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow. We have a huge bunch of videos coming up this next week, so make sure you stay tuned on Saturday to hear what's going on.